Good morning, good afternoon, listener. So we're here today for our next reflective series as part of the EMCC Switzerland series on our LinkedIn page. And today I have the pleasure to have with me Anne-Sophie Lois. Anne-Sophie, a few words to introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Anne-Sophie. I'm a Swiss-Swedish coach. I work with transformational coaching and biography work, and I'm based in Geneva.
Nice. Swiss, Swedish. Ah, surely there is a long story behind that. No, what actually drove you to become a coach, Anne-Sophie?
Yeah, that's it's a long story actually. I will make it a bit short for this occasion. I bring a lot of international leadership experience in particularly in the humanitarian and human rights sector. I worked many years for the International Committee of the Red Cross in many places around the world, then in Norwegian Refugee Council, and then lately at Plan International. So during this leadership journey and my experiences, I realized actually to make my team work well and to really be the leader I wanted to be, I was the one who shouldn't give all the directions and all the answers. It was a collective work and also supporting and accompanying my colleagues to find the best way to move forward. So I was actually starting using a coaching approach in my leadership journey. So that was one. And before that, actually, the passion for coaching started already 25 years ago when I was
25
trained
years
as a
ago.
biographer coach, which is a bit different. This where you're accompanying somebody on the different life phases.
Hmm.
So I was doing that for some years. And later on, I decided to pursue a more classical coaching training with TPC leadership, and then lately with Catalyst 1-4 in the UK. And then I became a senior practitioner coach. And with that, I worked as an internal coach for Plan International for about nearly 10 years. And now I have my own company, Coaching Beyond Borders, where I, offer coaching and biographical work to anyone who wants to work on their personal issues, on their work and professional issues. And many people come to work with me when it comes to transitions. It's a lot of transitions going on now, particularly within the humanitarian world where I have been very active.
Yeah, definitely. I love the name Coaching Beyond Borders because for me it has multiple meanings. It's beyond border, the physical border, beyond border, the borders of our mind, beyond border, the border of cultures. So it's congratulations on the naming. It's a beautiful one. You mentioned
Thanks.
you're accredited. You mentioned you're senior practitioner. What do you value most about being accredited by the EMCC?
No, I think first of all, it's an excellent professional network where you have, I think you get a kind of how can I say, you as you prepare during your training, you prepare all the different experiences you need to have, the theory, the practice, the writing, the reflection piece, etc., is validated not only by the trainers you have, but by an international body. And that's a guarantee also a level of quality. What do we need to know? How shall we act as coaches? And also what are the underlying, code of conduct and ethical requirements that is necessary. And I think that is really good to have it. It's as the best we can have, as it's not a recognized profession.
Hmm.
We do have recognized, international recognized bodies that kind of give some guarantee of the quality of the trainings that we have undergone.
We
I think
should
that's
get
very
you
important.
at the spokesperson for the mission actually of the MCC. That was so perfectly explained and really straight onto the point. So you've been using coaching for quite some time. You mentioned 25 years. You mentioned you've been more than 10 years coaching, partly internal coach, now with your own business. What benefits have you seen in business when working with coaching?
Yeah. No, I think there are many ways. I think first, to be able to work as a coach, I think there are conditions that you need to create. And this condition is really, what we can talk about psychological safety. I think when you
Hmm.
can create this safe container for any work to happen, things and miracles could happen actually there. When people feel accepted who they are, they feel they can be authentic with their doubts, with their fears, with their whatever it is, their questions, it's okay. I think from there you can work with people. Uh, when you have that basis, you have a fertile space for any change that is needed. One thing that I think is very, very powerful and what I have seen helped a lot is to, when you have this safety, you also become more creative.
Mm,
And when, I said many times, the coaching conversation is to become a thinking partner. A
mm,
thinking partner is many leaders, they are so busy, they're running and they're answering things and they act all the time. To create this space where you slow down, where you sit down, you have somebody that deeply, deeply listen, you create a space where your own thoughts become clearer. I have had a lot of experiences where people really thank me, of course. This was so great. Now I know what to do. And I said, actually, you had the ideas. I didn't do anything. I was just there. I created the space and I was just
creating the
listening.
space. Mm.
But then, and we have seen that with Nancy Klein, she talks about that also, one of the writer of the book that is Time to Think is called, is really excellent. It's talking about this, that you create the conditions that people's thinking actually improve when somebody is deeply listening. So I think that is something you can see miracles. Something else I could add to that is that I am working always on the strength side. I'm not looking for what is not working at the start. We will go there, of course, because there are many times the reason why people will ask for coaching. It's something not working, they're not happy, they want to change. But when you start on the other end, on the positive psychology end, where you work with the strength first, you really have another outlook and you realize that you can use your own strength that you have to solve the problem you have. So it's actually
Definitely.
unlocking what's already
Yeah.
there to address what is not working. So I think these are some of the things, and it could be for the individual or a team or the leaders. It's work. You always need to start with yourself to be able to do the change with others.
That's a good definitely a good point. Look for what you can change before complaining about what is not changing around.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, we're going to wrap up that session. If you were to give one or two tips to someone decided to start working with a coach or a team, a manager, or a professional, what tips come to mind?
yeah. I think they need to identify what they want to change. What is the
Okay,
reason, and also to identify what can they already do
okay.
themselves right now and where are the challenges. Is it because of the system, that something in the system doesn't work? Is it because there are fears of changing? If we can identify that, it's more helpful. But it's also sometimes difficult to understand what is not working. You can just feel it. And then, or you know a bit. Sometimes it's good to have a conversation with a coach that could help also to identify together uh, what are the different steps. Of course, the coach will not come with the answers, but will maybe through the questions help to identify where are the best starting points through questions.
That's brilliant. Three beautiful tips. Thanks again, Anne-Sophie, for sharing your passion for coaching and what drove you to be a coach and to join the EMCC as well. So, listener, thanks for being with us today. We see you next time and ciao.
Ciao, thank you, bye bye.